Steve Berger.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Evan?
Good
we're
to see
on?
you. Happy New Year.
I thought we went away.
No, we're here. We're just staying.
We're
No
live.
breaks.
We are live.
We're on overtime
So-
right
so-
now.
Yeah.
We're way on overtime. I
Take
thought we'd be
us
done at
back
10:30.
because we are talking. You're going to make the last pick.
Sure.
You're going to
Yeah,
announce
where
it.
were you?
Where were you?
Bring that
What was
mic up.
going on?
Bring your mic up.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, I was in a seat sitting next to Kevin Boland from Johns Hopkins,
Yeah.
one of my
Childhood friends.
childhood friends who taught me the game of lacrosse. Sitting there, don't think I'm going to get drafted. Let's be realistic. I'm D3. I go to Washington College. I'm among the best of the best, and just to have the opportunity to play with the guys that I was playing with was, for me, an accomplishment. And to hear my name, Vinny Sobrato at the point was the head coach. So to hear my name and go up there and represent Maryland, Division III lacrosse, Mount St. Joe, Baltimore, Howard County, it was cool. So I think at the end of the day, what you do is you realize now is your chance, right? Now is whatever you've done before doesn't matter. It's now at the footstone to prove yourself and do what you have done all along in college and what you represented yourself, represent it now.
But we go from that to obviously all the success you've had now. But that first year, from what I've heard, was a pretty big grind. I mean, you
Was rough.
drove just for practices from up to Long Island. And,
Sure. We're weekend warriors, you know. I mean,
But
I
you weren't
think-
even seeing time in the games that first year.
No.
correct?
First year I didn't play 1 minute. I basically got beat up by Pat McCabe, John Gagliardi, and Nick Polanco. So for many weeks I was a practice guy, you know, and learning from them to know for the next year when I had that opportunity, because I got protected. The guy who didn't play at all and finally got protected, and like, what does that mean? And so I learned from them. I learned
I
from
need to
the
eat.
best.
I need a check.
I need to eat. Quinn is right. Yeah. And I also, you take advantage of the knowledge. I think that's what a lot of these guys do in this league is they're humble enough to say, yes, I'm good enough to play in this league, but I still need to learn how to advance my skill, my efforts, and my passion.
That was a good group that you broke in with. I mean, that was a tight team, a solid veteran team. Like, there weren't many free spots.
I was on the first midfield with J. Jalbert and AJ Hogan.
Yeah.
So
bad.
it was like Steven Berger. And they were like, what? And then J. Jalbert, like, crowd erupts. And then AJ Hogan, crowd erupts, you know, and then Steven Berger, and they're like, who? You know, but that, what you said is I learned from those guys, you know, they're the best of the best. And actually the defensemen I probably learned more from, because they just gave more skill to what an offensive player could try to do and what they're trying to take away, you know, and you go to your enemy. That's what you do. You don't go to your ally who's the guy you're trying to compete against. You go to the guys that are trying to stop you and say, what are you trying to do? Well, why do you want to stop me, and how can I make myself better? So,
Back then, the draft was after the college season.
after.
It was,
Yeah.
It was early June usually, like right after the season ended. Now it's before the year. Well, that's got to be tricky for these kids, you know? You walk in the locker room next week and you're a first-round draft pick, or you walk in the locker room and you're 63rd pick. Like, so you're either,
What does that wager-
you're
what
either
does
too
that
proud or you're humbled, or I'm not sure. Like, how should a kid view where he is?
I think it probably you could also probably look at the recruiting stage now with kids in high school as well, right?
Yeah.
You know,
you're early verbal or you're
they're
not.
urban
Yeah.
verbal. What do they do? How do I represent myself? Do I have to prepare anymore? At the end of the day, guys, you got to prepare no matter what situation in, whether you're the first guy on the roster or whether you're the last guy on the roster.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter anymore. You know, one of my best friends, Paul Rabel. I'm going to compete myself every day against that guy. He's the best in the world. He looks himself as the best in the world, but he still puts himself up against us. And that's what you have to do in the sport in general, whether you want to compete at the highest level or whether you just want to be a guy on the roster. You're still going to put yourself at that edge and make yourself improve.
We got some fans out there in YouTube land. It's getting late, I know, but tomorrow this lacrosse convention's open all day, correct?
All day. We open tonight at 5, But
So-
Lacrosse convention is going to be wild tomorrow.
So
The Fan Fest,
we're on Market Street in downtown Philadelphia. There's
Yep.
plenty of parking right behind the building.
plenty.
You can walk across, come into the convention. What do they get to see? You got some-
I think the biggest thing that you can see is the amount of lacrosse personalities around. You know, you can walk anywhere in the vendor village and see anyone and everyone. I think the other thing is you can go to any classroom session and learn whatever you want. You know, whether it's X's and O's in offense or whether you want to be an official at the best level or the highest level, you can learn. The educational resources that we provide is the most important. And lastly, networking. Our sport doesn't grow without networking. So you're going to be able to meet people, learn things from other organizations that you wouldn't necessarily know, and take advantage of all the secrets that Quinn Kessenich tries to give everyone that is really not a secret.
I need to study my recovery patterns, like the way these college teams now. I know sliding.
How do we do it?
I know sliding's easy. It's the recoveries
Recovery.
that are complicated nowadays.
There's no secrets in lacrosse, and I think that's one thing that we try to portray is that
Do I recover to the crease? Do I recover adjacent?
Depends
How
on
do
the
I-
slide pattern.
How do I recover?
depends on the
No,
slide
I know.
pattern. Are they playing zone? Are they U9? Are they?
The recovery packages are where I'm struggling now. It's gotten kind of modern for me, so I need to go back to school.
Yep. And I
Stick
think
around tomorrow. You were going to drive home tonight, but you're going. to
he's
class
here all
tomorrow.
weekend. He's here all
It is
weekend.
tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. We're up all night to get lucky here.
Well, Steve, we gotta
You gotta
release
do
you
it,
because
man.
you got some work to do.
Thanks,
Bouncing
guys.
the
Thanks,
64th
guys.
pick.
Thanks,
guys.
No longer Mr.
It's gonna
Irrelevant.
be classic.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.